Hey guys, it's Razin. So this is some Titanfall 2 footage. I tried to record a let's play of this game because it's fucking amazing and it deserves more love, but yeah, my live game reportable game capture and just the combination of having that hooked up to my PC and the software running in the background alongside running a very, very recent game. My laptop just ain't powerful enough, unfortunately, so I had to turn the setting down on both the recording and on the game. So the quality didn't turn out the best, and also there's just some really weird screen tearing stuff. And then the final straw that broke the camel's back on that let's play that I wanted to make for it was there's just sometimes when the game decides to load in something, my recording software just can't deal with that happening at the same time. I don't know. It's probably some with like just CPU can't deal with the stress, and my recording would just stop. And after that happened, like the third time, I'm like, yeah, this game is going to be impossible to let's play, at least and have decent quality on it without a shit ton of editing, and it'll end up looking like crap anyway. So I don't want to bother. But I do want to get the PS4 version of this game just to support it, and also because there's some friends that only have PS4s that I'd really love to play this game with. So maybe down the line I'll do a let's play of the campaign with the PS4 version, but yeah, that'll be later. And this is the part of the video where I stop talking about video games and stop pretending everything is all right, and I kind of get serious. And this is probably like my third attempt at recording this, and hopefully this one ends up better than the other two because the other two are just um terrible recordings. So, yeah, I just have a canteen of soda in my hand, and I'm sitting in my bedroom. It's pretty late. It's dark out, and I've just been trying to fucking formulate thoughts all day in my head to address this, and I don't even want to say it's not that I don't want to, because sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, but there are things you do as a content creator, and I know some people hate that term. I kind of hate that term, but it's a really nice generic label I can put on myself to kind of fucking do what I do. I guess when you have a following and you have to do something that you know is going to receive some backlash or at least some form of alienation of that following, that always feels intrinsically shitty. But sometimes you just kind of have to do it. So it kind of ripping it like a band-aid, I guess, is what I'm doing here. But it's come to my attention that there have been elements of my community that have been, I don't know what word to say, but actively harmful and toxic sound pretty good to me towards others, and that's shitty. Um you're probably wondering what kind of was the boiling point that led to me making this video, and the answer is honestly kind of a lot of things, both stuff that has been perceived solely by me and also other people that have been, just informing me of things that have happened to them. And there's a lot of it's just a lot of things. So people are probably wondering, but yes, the election does have a big part to do with this, but it's not just the election. There's multiple things, and I can get into kind of what exactly happened that led up to this, but basically what this video is I want to set a guideline or at least a standard of some kind and have it on video form. As maybe useless as this might be, it makes me feel better knowing I did it. Um, for what my community standards are. So I started YouTube about well, I technically created this channel in like 2011, and I made just the fucking worst video reviews that no one watched, and you can't find those anymore. I deleted all my really, really garbage old shit. And I didn't really start taking this seriously until like 2013. Um, and I think it was like, hmm, like I think it was like the summer between senior year and starting college. I don't remember anymore, but um, yeah, it was a while ago, and I've changed a lot since then. I don't know how many of you are even still around from those days, but I respect it if you are. It's always cool. But to say that this has been the hobby I've been the most passionate about and the creative project that I've been the most happy with and involved with in the past few years of my life has been, that's an understatement. I've made some of my best friends because I decided to make video content and decide that that was something I wanted to spend time on. Um, and this community that I fostered around it, however small it may be, is very important to me. And this is something that I want to be pretty strict and in the sand in, I guess, because like I said, I don't think it's fair when people feel alienated and harmed because some people get away with doing some horrendous shit or saying some garbage. That's not okay. So, uh, I guess just in general. Yeah, this is awkward, but uh, I mean, it's probably pretty obvious to anyone who's known me for an extended period of time that I do tend to lean quite left. I'm quite liberal. People label me social justice warrior, shit like that all the time, and that's fine. I don't really care. If I am, sure, but that's just generally my approach to things. I feel so much empathy for the marginalized people of this world, and I think they go through some really tough shit that I could probably never deal with in my life. Um, and I want to make sure that those people have a space within the community that my channel has around it to feel like they aren't being looked down upon by anyone and they feel comforted when they're around my community. Yeah, it feels really like selfish or like egotistical to call it that. And honestly, I wish I had a better word for it than like the community around my channel or my following, but my subscriber base, I don't know. But um and I do know that just your YouTube viewership is not something, or just a fucking fan following in general is not something that I can control. I can't, I don't get to choose that. When you make content, whoever watches it, right? But I don't really care who watches. I just want to lay down guidelines for, at least in terms of the space that I have direct control over, what the standards are for interaction within that space. Because I don't know, like the first thing I guess that's been happening is and this is honestly partially my fault, I guess. Or maybe totally my fault, I don't know, but it's a thing that's been happening. I'll leave it at that. Uh so like I said, I make it no secret within my videos, if you, at least if you've been paying attention, that I'm more so left leaning. But there's been a decent number of instances where people who find me through YouTube then follow me and my friends on Twitter. And honestly, I don't really care when they get mad at me when they discover that like I'm raw or evil SJW or shit like that, but like some of my friends have had some really shitty things said to them, and that's not okay. And that really bothers me. Like just knowing that people have like actively had people find them and bitch at them because of something that you made just bothers me, I guess. And that's that's the first thing that's been happening. That's been happening for years now. It's kind of something I learned to deal with, but it's always kind of been something that gnaws at the back of my mind and kind of feels guilty of. But that's like the least of my concerns. So the second thing that happened is just in general. I recently had another video in this series where I announced after someone convinced me, hey, well, I guess I should say I've had a few requests for it, but then someone on Twitter was like, hey, you should make a Discord dedicated to your channel, and so people that like your stuff can go and get together and talk about stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's honestly a great idea. And I still stand by that. I really think that having a place other than YouTube comments and Twitter to kind of focus the discussion for people that want that around stuff like my channel was neat, and I really like that idea. But I guess to make a long story short, I had to ban two people from my Discord because of unironic Holocaust denial, and that made a lot of people really, really uncomfortable. Which honestly, like, how could I not ban those people? But it just kind of killed me reading the different messages I got from people basically describing how uncomfortable they were because some fucking idiots were in there and saying that. Um, and honestly, it kind of pains me to know that people who don't think the Holocaust happened watch my stuff. And like I said, I know I can't control that, but I don't know. I like to think that the people who watch my stuff are perfect human beings and they're awesome and smart, but yeah, I guess sometimes shit slips through the cracks, and the one that killed me is someone messaged me, and I don't want to say who or anything, but they are Jewish, and just the amount of garbage I felt in my soul at that moment is almost unparalleled with a lot of stuff I felt in life. Um, and that's not okay. So, yeah, and honestly, it's been rough, I guess, but there's been a few awkward moments in the Discord, I should say, but I'm not against just closing it down if it becomes too stressful to manage, because if people are just going to be hurt by it, then that's pretty crap, and I don't want that. So, and I guess the last part of this piece is the election did bring this to a front a little bit for me. We have now had someone who has cultivated a campaign that was significantly fueled by bigotry, racism, and sexism, and he won. He fucking won. I know a lesbian couple that are terrified of what is going to happen in the future and their future together, if that's even going to be possible comfortably. I know a Muslim woman who is basically terrified to go outside now because Trump's victory has basically been a stamp that profiling her and treating her like garbage because of her faith is acceptable in our society. So if you, even if you didn't actively support that, if you supported that campaign knowing the hatred was there and you turned a blind eye to it, I honestly do not want you being part of this community, because you've done such a horrendous disservice to the basic human rights of people everywhere in terms of making them feel unsafe, unrespected, and unloved. And that's not okay. And that's not something that I'm going to tolerate within what I want to be a place where people can come to be happy. and a place where people can come to maybe forget about those parts of life that maybe they're not happy with, and maybe they want to escape from suffering horrendous bullshit within their everyday life. And honestly, it's part of the reason I kind of shrugged away from going fully political in any of my videos, just because I've always kind of viewed this space of mine as, it's just dumb, goofy stuff that I do, and, sometimes informative. I like to be helpful to people. I like to ease people's mind with the stress that's going on in their life, and I want to make something that everyone has fun with or is interested in. And, even then, if my criticisms or my insights and make people's day better, that's something that I highly value. And to have that undermined because some asshole in a comment section is being hateful. And I don't mean hateful as in just not liking the video or, calling someone like a dumb name or something like that. I'm talking like full on going after someone because of their identity. That's where I draw the line. I'm not going to stand for that. So if you participate in that knowingly, I have to ask you to leave. It's the simple end of it, because there are so many fantastic people that watch my videos and they don't deserve to feel that way from other people. Um and I guess just in general, I've felt pretty disheartened by the state of the games community and social discourse. Uh, Not that standard was very high to begin with, but I don't know. There's a lot of examples I can pull from, but I guess one thing I'll leave with you is this: is I have a friend who she lives on the West Coast, and keep in mind I did ask her permission to make this point because it's something very personal. Um, she was out for a walk one night, and she was dragged into a public bathroom and raped repeatedly by three men. And she suffered significant post traumatic stress disorder, significant anxiety, significant suicidal depression, and it took her years upon years to recover from that and get to a place where she wasn't breaking down at least once a week. And part of that process was having her friends and family help her and make sure she felt secure and loved and comforted and safe, and giving her a space where she can recover and get back into any sort of sense of normalcy that you can get after something like that happens. And one tool that is very helpful in that process is a trigger warning. Every fucking time I see some stupid fucking white teen from the suburbs making a stupid triggered joke because it's edgy and it makes his friends laugh, I think back to her and everything that she went through and all the nights she spent speaking with me on Skype in tears, um, about what it's like to live like that. And yeah, I I don't know what else to say other than I expect more. I expect love and compassion and respect. I expect inclusivity, respect their identity, and not treat them like garbage just because of who they are. But yeah, going forward, I'm going to have some higher expectations of how this community acts and what is and is not allowed. Um, I'm gonna do my best to moderate it to the best of my ability, which is kind of rough because there's one of me and there's thousands of you. Um, but I expect respect. I expect acceptance. I expect tolerance of different people, and to cut to the chase, I want this channel to be a progressive space, and that's a cornerstone of all of my content and just me as a human being that I'm not going to shy away from, and I'm not going to push back on. It's very important to me, and it's very important to the people I love too. So I know there's a lot of people that are going to be really mad at me about this. I know there's a lot of people, especially within the anime and game fandoms, that really push back against those ideals. And I don't really give a shit, to be honest. You want to leave, you can go ahead. You can call me names. You can tell me to fuck off, whatever. But I'm tired of this idea that we can just smile and put our heads up our asses and pretend that politics don't have any sort of effect on entertainment or communities in general. Everything is inherently political, everything is inherently a social discussion of some kind. Um, and these issues are always going to be there, even if you bury your head in the sand and pretend that they're not. And I want to take a hard stance to say that I'm not going to excuse, defend, or create a space for intolerance and bullshit if I can help it. So there's that. Yeah, I guess for anyone watching who has felt, you know, unsafe or insecure or anxious because of recent events, whether within this community or just on a global scale, always know that my private messages here on YouTube are open. My DMs are still open on Twitter, I'm pretty sure. If not, I can go open them right away after I'm done here. I'm around to talk if you need someone. I'll do my I'm a busy guy, but I'll do my best to get back to you, and maybe we can talk a little bit. Yeah, that was your uncomfortable rosin video of the year. Hope you enjoyed it. Um but yeah, don't worry guys. I have stuff planned still. I want to do stuff, and now more than ever I want to go out and create things that can allow people to have fun even when the rest of the outside world could feel really shitty at times for them. So, uh I hope you have a good day, and I love you. Have a good one.